What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Brooks from Mike's Madden School, and we are back at it again with a brand new Madden season. And we're going to start it all off like we do every season. We're going to talk about the top 5 sleeper teams that you can use in Madden that not a lot of people will be using, but you can sneak up on some folks. All right, let's get to it. Coming at you, class is now in session. All right, so the first thing we're going to do before we go over our top 5, we have some honorable mentions. Now, obviously in this video, the teams that we're not going to talk about, we're not going to talk about the Chiefs. We're not going to talk about the Eagles, the Bengals, the Bills, and a couple other, top teams, who they are, that everybody's going to use. Obviously the Dolphins, they were the sleeper team last year. They're not sleeping no more. We actually know who they are. So we got some honorable mentions, some teams that a lot of people don't talk about. And the reason being is probably because in this particular team is the San Francisco 49ers, is because their quarterback play. So their quarterback play is so bad, it overlooks how freaking loaded this roster is. I mean, just look at the top, what's that, 7 players? I mean, it is crazy how loaded this roster is. I mean, at the running back position, you got Christian McCaffrey. Then you got at the fullback, Kyle Juszczyk. Receivers all over the place. Samuels, Ayuk, Jennings. And then George Kittle. Their O-line, what Trent Williams represents. I mean, it's crazy. It's also crazy he's not a 99 overall, so that's crazy. But you know what I mean? Like their roster is loaded. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, like they're really, really good, man. Greenlaw. So it's wild. They get an honorable mention because they were in the NFC Championship game last year. Like, we know who San Francisco is. We know what they represent. But I just don't think a lot of people are going to use them on Madden because of this. Their quarterback situation is bad. You might see some people use Trey Lance because he has 87 speed, and getting out the pocket is now a viable option in this game if you don't contain your DN. So maybe some folks would use Trey Lance, but this will be a perfect, if you can get them in your franchise in the CFM with a bunch of users, and you could develop Trey Lance, you got a squad. The next honorable mention is, of course, the Dallas Cowboys, only because, and I don't like talking about them, but I believe, and I will strongly debate anybody about this, that there are people at EA that are Cowboy fans, because they are always overvalued more than any other team. Dak Prescott is an 87 overall superstar, and he led the league in interceptions in only 12 games, 13 games. He led the league in interceptions. That is crazy. There's no way that Dak Prescott should still be a superstar at 87 overall, but he is. And then you got Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is an 88 overall running back. So you already know. I can just go down the line on all their, receivers and everything like this. Brandon Gallup. I was looking at Brandon Cooks and Michael Gallup, 80 overall receiver. When's the last time Michael Gallup made a significant contribution in the league? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but he's still 80 overall. So somebody is a Dallas Cowboy fan. You will not convince me otherwise. You got a 99 overall Jack Martin. You know what I'm saying? He's a Notre Dame guy, so I'm gonna let him do his thing. But yeah, man, it is what it is. So Cowboys are always a viable option in the game. If you can stand looking at that star, they're a viable option. Number 5 on our top 5 list is another team. We're gonna stay in the NFC East, is the Giants. Now I'm gonna tell you why they are number 5 on our top 5 list. Let me tell you, Daniel Jones. Okay, so yes, Daniel Jones is a 75 overall, and 75 overall this year, as I've been playing the game, is a serviceable quarterback, especially with the new target passing system. He, a 75 overall quarterback is definitely viable in this game. You felt like before that you needed gunslinger or pass lead elite to be able to throw the ball. This year, not the case. You can still be productive with a 75 overall and above quarterback. Now, with that said, Daniel Jones also has 88 speed. So with that 88 speed, there's a lot of things that you could call in the playbook with him. Also, you have Tyrod Taylor backing him up just in case you lose him. He can still run around. But Daniel Jones can get out the pocket, and then you also run some read option things with Daniel Jones. Obviously, they got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is, in my opinion, one of the best running backs in the game. He has jukebox and leapfrog, which are two very, very good abilities for running backs. Then we go to their wide receivers. They have some speed at wide receivers with Darius Slayton at 6'1" and Paris Campbell at 6 foot with 93 and 94 speed respectively. And like I said, 70 to me in this game, 75 and above, definitely decent options. Like, you're not like before, these receivers might be unplayable because they couldn't get open, they couldn't do anything, but 75 is basically average, right? If you can get to 80 and above, then you're above average. 85, then you're good, and then 90 and above, then you start to get to that elite status. 77, like, they have interchangeable receivers. Isaiah Hodgins is a 6'3" receiver that can give you some possession catches. Shepard can get you some possession catches. So they have viable weapons. Darren Waller now on the team, so that's a big time weapon. So they got a very good viable offense. So then if we go to the offensive line, it's decent. Not the best in the world. That's why they're number 5, but their defense is definitely viable. So as we click through, Dexter Lawrence can bring pressure and stop the run. They got some speed at linebacker, so their linebackers might not be the best overall, but if you can see, they got speed there, so you can do some things with the speed. Kayvon Thibodeau is going to bring pressure off the edge. And then their cornerbacks are very fast. So you got Dory Jackson and Deontay Banks, the rookie that they got from Maryland. Shout out to the Fear the Turtle. So he's 6'2" with 94 speed. So, and Dory Jackson has 93 speed. So you don't have to get worried about getting burnt on the outside. And then you have a couple other cornerbacks out here. Aaron Robinson is 6'1", 71 overall. You can interchange any one of those in the slot, and you have 3 good cornerbacks that can run, and that's, obviously speed kills in Madden. So at number 4, we have the Seahawks coming in. Geno Smith getting love at 81 overall with 84 speed, meaning he can kind of get out the pocket and do some things with his feet. Then you got Kenneth Walker III, 87 overall running back, 2nd year in the league with 94 speed. He can take the top off of defense. He can go for 80 yards at any given time. Next, you got receivers. Tyler Lockett, one of the most underrated receivers in the game. I don't know how he's not at least a superstar with short end elite or something, but they need to give my man Tyler Lockett some love. DK Metcalf, he has the X factor. Double me, deep out elite, red zone threat. So you can throw that thing up to him and he'll go get it. You know what DK Metcalf represent with 95 speed. And then we got some other guys with some speed and possession. Jackson Smith and Jigma, the rookie out of Ohio State. So you got some players on offense, some decent tight ends. Noah Fant still doing this thing. 6'4" with 88 speed. Definitely a viable tight end to stretch those seams. Their offensive line isn't the worst in the world. All right, so you see you got three linemen above 75, and then you got 170 and then 169. Like, I don't mind if my guards aren't that good if my tackles and my center is decent. I can work with a guard that's not that great. Then we got if you go through the line, their edge rushers aren't that great. You know what I'm saying? Their front 7 could use some work. However, they do have speed at linebacker, so you still got Bobby Wagner. He's the old guy in the group, but you got some young guys that are really fast and are really hungry, so definitely check out that. And then, like I said, their linebacking group, they may not be good overall, but they have speeds. This has got to be the most freakish athlete on Madden today. Like, you remember for the last couple years, Isaiah Simmons was that guy that you would have to, in a fantasy draft, you would have to stretch and probably get him in the 1st or 2nd round, even though his overall was in the 70s, but he was 6'4" at like 90-something speed. This is Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen's 83 overall with 98 speed at 6'4", and he's only in his 2nd year of the league. In some fantasy drafts, he's definitely going in the first round. So here's the tip. This ain't got nothing to do with this video. If you're in a CFM fantasy draft, if you don't get a quarterback first round, and you're kind of and you don't get a pass rusher, and your idea is to get a cornerback, Tariq Woolen is a first round draft pick, period. He's a late first round draft pick. So obviously the good quarterbacks are going to go in the first 10 to 15 picks. Then you probably have maybe elite pass rusher. This guy right here, if you got a late first round pick, you're picking in the 20s, pick Tariq Woolen, period. So you got him. You got some other good cornerbacks. You got some decent safeties as well. Got Quadri Diggs. And then Jamal Adams. What you want to do with Jamal Adams, obviously you're going to put him in the box because he's a heavy hitter, sub linebacker position. Then you put Julian Love deep. You good. You got something. You got something there. So now you got some guys that can stop the run as well as stop the pass. If you play with the Seahawks, you're definitely going to play a lot more zone than you would man. But the Seahawks at number 4. All right, number 3, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, some may say, oh, this is not a sleeper team. However, in real life, they're not a sleeper team, but on Madden, they are, because they don't get a lot of respect. As you can see, they don't have a player over 90. They don't have a player over 85 overall, but they have a lot of good above average players. So if we look right here, Trevor Lawrence, the real deal. He comes with Gunslinger and Gutsy Scrambler as a superstar. He's only going to go up. Okay, we already know what Trevor Lawrence's trajectory is. Then you got Travis Etienne, 84 overall running back with 93 speed. Take the top off the defense. 93 speed is good enough to take something to the house. Obviously, at wide receiver, you got Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley. 2 very good receivers. Calvin Ridley can take the top off the defense. Like I said, 93 speed is definitely good enough to get deep. Zay Jones and Jamal Agnew, all nice, speedy receivers. You just got speed all over the place as you look on down the line. At tight end, Evan Ingram, really good tight end. We know what he represents. He has 88 speed as a tight end, can stretch those seams. As you can see, their offensive line is decent. It's not the best, but they have some good positions. Brandon Sheriff in the middle. What you can do is you probably want to put Brandon Sheriff out at right tackle to cover this up, so that way he can go against those elite pass rushers, and then you can have one of those lower overall players on the inside. Then their front 7, this is where they kind of lack a little bit. They probably won't be that great stopping the run, but they will bring some pressure on the pass rushers, because we got Josh Allen right here that can bring pressure on the pass rusher. Excuse me, pressure on the passer. Can't talk. And then they got some fast linebackers, and then obviously Trayvon Walker, the top pick last year, coming out of Georgia. He's going to bring some pressure. He has 88 speed off the edge. He will get blocked a little bit. Like I say, he's not a superstar or anything, but he will bring pressure. You can contain any quarterback with a guy like that with his 88 speed. He will keep any fast quarterback contained. So that's why he's a big factor. Then out at cornerback, they have speed at cornerback, so that way you won't have to worry about getting beat deep on a regular basis. You have a lot of guys that can run out here. Also, with their safety position, they're probably going to play with these guys. You're probably going to play more man than you would zone, just because of the way these guys can run and get out. All right. So that is the Jaguars at number 3. Now at number 2, I have the Browns. Now the Browns probably been on my sleeper list for the last like 3 or 4 years, because their roster has always been that good. They just haven't performed that well in real life, because if this guy right here gets back to form, he's only a 78 overall right now, because he's been, all the issues that he's had. He hasn't been able to play for the last 2 years pretty much. If he gets back to form like he was when he was the last year at the Texans, because people forget how good he is. If he can take that 78 and get that back up to an 84, 85, the Browns are going to be definitely in playoff contention and probably win that division. Because look at the rest of their roster. We already know where Nick Chubb goes. He's literally the best running back on the game. Wrecking ball. He's a bruiser, powerful stiff arm and truck animations. He's a problem. You already know what he represents. You can get him the ball 20, 30 times and be all right. At wide receiver, you already know Amari Cooper. He's one of the few receivers on the game that has route tech. So that means you just can't stand up and line up and play man to man all day. You know those people that just like to play man to man, two safeties high. He can't check him because not only he has route tech, he has outside apprentice. So that means you can put him on any route that you want, pretty much, and to get open, all the man beaters and everything. So he's going to be a problem. That's automatic first down when you need it. Then you have some speed. Elijah Moore, Marquise Goodwin, who's still 95 and above speed in his 10th season. So he can fly, so he can take the top off. So you have all the good receivers, all speed. You even got Jakeem Grant Sr. if you want to, return kicks and all that good stuff. So David Njoku, you know what he represents. Big boy, 6'4", 86 speed. Stress the seams. And then their offensive line is decent. All right. Everybody is above 75 overall. Then you have some 80s. Right guard, 86. Center, 78. 92. You might even can move him out wide to left tackle. See how much what his overall is, and move him inside. And man, let me tell you, you got a good offensive line. They're gonna roll grade for Nick Chubb. They're a beast. And then on defense, Zadarius Smith, superstar. So he's edge threat elite. Then you got Myles Garrett. He got edge threat and everything that Myles Garrett represents. Not surprised he's not a 99 overall. Probably by week 2 or 3 he'll be a 99 overall. He's gonna make plays. That's what Myles Garrett do. So, I mean, I don't know. Like with those two guys, it's gonna be hard to throw the ball to them. They don't even need a front seven like that. In order to beat Cleveland, you're gonna have to run the ball, and a lot of people don't run the ball well. Even though this is gonna be a more running year in Madden 24, people don't like running the ball. They're impatient. So when they don't run the ball, you got those edge rushers to come at them, and in the back you got Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome II, Thornhill and Rodney McLeod Jr. to round up. I probably switch him out for Delpit. I think Delpit starts. If he didn't, he would start for me at 6'3" with the 88 speed. And the number one team, you already know, it's the New York Football Jets. All right. Let me tell you, man, this team is ready. This team is ready. And the reason why they're ready, because of that man right there, Aaron Rodgers. He may not be, a 99 overall Aaron Rodgers, but he's still a superstar. He's still 86 overall. He still has Gunslinger. He still has Pass Lead Elite and Roman Deadeye. So you already know he's Aaron Rodgers, all right? So who's Aaron Rodgers? Who are their weapons? Well, they got Bryce Hall back from the injury from last year. He would have got Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt. 82 overall with 93 speed. He's a little wrecking ball, 6'1", 220, a very good big back. He's going to be a problem. But since he didn't win Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson just went ahead and won Rookie of the Year. So now you got another good young receiver. This would be a good team to build a dynasty with. Especially, you probably can trade Aaron Rodgers and get a first-round pick and then draft a quarterback in the next season. And you got all these young guys. So be on the lookout for that. I might, do a video on that. But Garrett Wilson, 84 overall with 92 speed. And then they added Mecole Hardman from the Chiefs. 96 speed. You already know what Mecole Hardman can do. You can just get the ball to him in so many different ways, off wide receiver sweeps, just throwing bombs, taking the top off the defense. And then you have the possession receiver in Allen Lazard, someone that Aaron Rodgers is familiar with, 6'5", 227, big body. He can definitely give you those possession catches. At tight end, they got decent tight ends, nothing crazy, more run blocking tight ends. Now this is the key. They got an average to above average O-line, all 75 and above. So that's key. They're not just going to get beat off the line as soon as they break. Their defense is really good too. As you can see, their ends all in the 80s. You got Quentin Williams, you know what he represents, El Toro, so he's coming after the quarterback. Their linebackers are fast. Not the greatest, but they're fast. Sauce Gardner, in his second year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, last year, 93 over. I want to say this is probably the highest overall a second year player has ever gotten on Madden. Somebody fact check me on that, because even Micah Parsons was only like 88 overall starting the year in his second year. Even Chase Young, Chase Young, even in his second year, he was like 85 overall, 88 overall. Even Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson in their second years, I don't think they cracked 90 in their second years, even though they had a great rookie season. Sauce Gardner is a 93 overall with 92 speed and got a superstar. But look at his superstar traits. He has acrobat, inside shade, and deep out zone KO. I mean, so that means you can play man with him and zone. And he got acrobat. He's crazy. And then you got DJ Reed Jr. You got Michael Carter II with speed. Like, you got speed all over this defense. Look at some of the guys at the bottom. 96 speed. He probably returning your kicks. Then you got Adrian Amos. He's been in the league for a while. He's always been a good guy. Came from the Packers as well. A lot of these guys came from Green Bay, following Aaron Rodgers. And then so you can do a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys got 90 speed. Then my guy Ashton Davis, I love putting him in the back because he's always athletic. He's like the poor man Troy Apke. So yeah, if y'all CFM guys know about Troy Apke, but yeah, man, like, those are my top 5 sleepers. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what I got right in the comments. Tell me who your top 5 sleeper teams in the comments. If I miss somebody, I think there's a couple other teams. Detroit's going to be good offensively. The Bears are going to be good offensively. They just couldn't crack the top 5. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I appreciate y'all coming out. Look out for more videos. We got some offensive playbooks coming, all that good stuff. Until next time, class is dismissed. Take care.